scanners. What I just wanted to do a video real quick on this adapter that I did get. As you can see, that's the white plug, and then here's the red one. This red plug is actually kind of plopped in right there. And that's definitely for the red one is for the Suzuki ZX6R and actually the ZX10 as well, and it fits other bikes as well, but I will give you the compatibility list for it. I already had an OBD2 scanner, so it is an adapter that then plugs in to that. Of course, like I said, the white one I think is for Honda or possibly another brand. But just to get to the point about why we're where we're at right now, I was working on my sequential integrated tail light, and I was installing or disassembling my exhaust that I'm going to be, my slip-on exhaust. As you can see, the muffler is missing. I just have to remove the resonator, but what happened was, as I was removing the servo cables, I removed those and I was told to unplug this and get it out the way just so I can get the cables loose. So I did unplug it completely and remove it from the bike. So then at the same time, I was messing around with the tail light and getting it programmed for the turn signals and lights and everything like that, sequential part of it. And the one mistake that a lot of people are saying is do not start the bike unless you have the servo plugged back in. Do not start the bike. It doesn't say anything about having it in the on position, which is what I did. I turned it into the on position to make sure the lights and everything worked on the rear, as well as the tail tiddy with the white light, the license plate light as well. And lo and behold, I mean, that part was fine. I got it programmed, but I didn't have the servo plug. So once I got the lights all together and everything was good, I plugged the servo back up, thinking that, hey, I didn't start it, so no big deal. I did turn it to the on position though. So then once I plugged it all back up, got it bolted back in, because I really don't have no reason to remove it. And if I don't have to buy a servo buddy, then I'm not going to. This little space right here is not a big issue with me. I have plenty of places where I can put my paperwork down in this area right here, or it's enough to put paperwork there. That's all I need to put in there. But I went to go then start the bike. Oh no, I went to put it in the on position. I didn't even start it. And of course, the servo was turning, was activating in the on position, not even started. And I was like, oh man, I just knew that, that the check engine light was going to be stuck in at that point. So there I go. That's where we're at with ordering this plug here. So I just wanted to go through the process with you, and this is going to be the first time that I'm trying to see if it works. So it disables the check engine light, and I see what code pops up for it. But it is an adapter that I did get from Amazon. Again, I will link it below. But again, reminder: do not turn that key to any position. Just leave it off until you have that servo plugged back in. They say that you don't have to buy a servo buddy as long as you keep this plugged in, but do not turn the bike on whatsoever with that servo unplugged. If I wasn't doing my tail light, I'd have no reason to unplug the servo, or I would have plugged it back because I wouldn't have been focusing on the tail light. So that was my mistake. But again, I was told, and from previous videos, it said do not start the bike, not to say do not have it in the on position. And the on position is what activates this thing. So just a heads up for that for you people, so you don't make the mistake. Luckily, I already had an OBD2 scanner for my car. And then this adapter here again was like 15 bucks from Amazon. Very great deal. I did check on Cycle Gear and it was like $40 or $45. So, and it was just a single plug, where this one has at least 2 different bikes, or maybe a couple of different models brands that you can use this with. So let's go on and get started, or whatever it is, just to see. Get this to the on. You don't start it, you just get it to the on position. Let me unplug my charger. So let's do that again so I can show you. So this is off. Now it's the on position. So as you see, bike's not started. That thing operated, so that was the signal that it gave. But like I said, I had gotten this all set up. Looks so dope now with the tail tiddy. And then, and it is a flip. I can flip it under, just for when I do create content or something like that, or I just want to put the license plate away or whatever. And it just comes back down. And then of course the tail light itself, it's smoked. Dope. Hash. So let's get to this point. So now we're going to click read. It shows one code, P048B, which I'm assuming that's what that's going to be for. And at this point, I'm just going to cold erase. And then I have to hold it again to actually delete it. And then it says done. So it should have cleared it. I don't know if it disappears at this point, but I think you have to start the bike up if I'm correct. So I'm going to get it unplugged. Sorry, just trying to do this with one hand. I'm gonna drop that down. I don't think this is needed, but I'm gonna just put it back anyways. Put that back in there. Okay. And let's see what happens. And I'll just turn it off just to be sure. Then that. So it is confirmed that that did clear the code. Very straightforward. It seems like. Now, of course, time will tell once I get it on the road and get riding or whatever it is, just to see. But that did clear the code. Very simple OBD2 reader. I've had it for years, at least 10 years. I've had this thing now. It works great when you need to clear codes, whether it be for small checks or just something for the bike. Obviously, now that I have that adapter, so that is great that worked. The servo goes on and activates. So it looks like there's no necessary need for the servo buddy unless you just want to have space in here, to my understanding. I will do a follow-up video if need be that the check engine light comes back on due to the servo buddy. I did not see what that code was, but I will go check it to see, but I'm almost sure it was this and it did clear itself, so we are set. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to run that over with you guys, and more importantly, let you guys know. Again, if you're messing around, you're doing your tail light, your tail tiddy, you start unplugging the plugs and stuff from here, you have to remove the servo cables, which means that you kind of have to unplug this to kind of get it out of the way, to get the cables to break loose from here. Plenty of videos on how to get the cables out of here. I didn't feel it was necessary to do it, as there's plenty of them up. But you do loosen this up just to kind of get it out to the angle, and then it loosens where you can pull the wire out, the plugs out of here, the wires, cables, free up space. And you're going to remove the cables. And the cables, I pulled them up and out this way. I felt that there were a couple of bends on the cable at this point that would have made it hard to pull it down out that way. So I did pull it up this way, or whatever it is. There's a couple little brackets that they kind of sit between, but they go in, so you don't really have to remove any brackets that are within. Once you get under here, they were actually in here, and at that point, it was just a little clip that held them, and that was it. Of course, I have all this apart because my tail light. But that is pretty much it. I don't think I left anything else out. I just made that mistake, and I wanted to get that clear before I continued on with doing my exhaust. I just have to remove the resonator, and then I can go and install my toast. And but let me show you real quick the tail lights part. So that's for the right. And that's for the left. I don't know if I can get a shot of it, but this is the brakes. Hopefully it's a clear picture. And then there's my hazard lights, which is cool. So that is that. Again, let me start her up real quick again. To start the bike for a few seconds, but it's so loud and I don't want my dog to get all ruffled up. A little guy over here. But yeah, so that is that. Tail tiddy is on. Sequential brake light is on. Again, I'll include all those links if I haven't done already in a previous video. So that is pretty much that. Again, this is the adapter. So this is the OBD2 reader, and then this is what you would normally have in your car that you would plug to, and then you have the adapters here. Again, I think it's Kawasaki. Quiet. And that is that. So with that said, I will leave you guys at that. This dog is already getting ruffled. I don't want you hearing all that barking. So until next time, people, I will holler at you later. Until next time, peace out.